So hello everyone, welcome to the video, very random video. Today I'm going to be going through my old Pokemon save, Pokemon Platinum. I've been playing Pokemon a lot recently on my 3DS, and I thought let's go into Platinum and see how it is. You know, see what I got up to. I'm very excited, and yeah, I just want to dive in, see what Pokemon I had, you know, see how it goes. It's funny actually, so I only had 2 or 3 Pokemon games as a kid: Pokemon Pearl, Pokemon Platinum, Pokemon Soul Silver. And my Pokemon Platinum, I kind of used almost as Pokemon Home or Pokemon Bank now, where I would, you know, play Pokemon Pearl or Soul Silver, and at the end of that save, anything I had, I would transfer to my Pokemon Platinum. So I only played Platinum once, and everything I ever caught got moved over here. So I'm pretty sure I'm going to have multiple Charizards, multiple Riolus, you know, 1 Luxray, which I'll get to in a minute, my prize Luxray. And yeah, there's going to be loads of random stuff in here. But yeah, let's dive in. But before I dive into it, I want to shout out 2 special people: my Infernape and my Luxray. My Infernape, I'm pretty sure I call Bino. Yeah, here he is, Bino. Now let me tell you this: Bino was my first ever starter, and as you can see here, I caught him in the 2nd of June 2008. That's crazy. He's almost 20 years old. Something I did with him and my Luxray was I kind of treated him as Pikachu in the anime, where after I finished a game, so I did Pearl. After I finished Pearl, I got Platinum. Instead of starting again, I moved my Infernape and my Luxray over and did the whole game with them plus others, right? So then after I finished Platinum and Soul Silver came out, they were probably level 70, 80 or whatever by that point, but I did Soul Silver with these 2. I moved them straight away, used them almost as my starter. Bino was my Infernape, my first ever starter, 2nd of June 2008. And then Luxray, Shinx, was the first Pokemon I caught. And I'll tell you why I caught him. I was actually hunting an Aipom, right? Again, from the anime, I loved Aipom. So I went into the game. I also went into the game knowing nothing, by the way. I didn't know who evolved into who, didn't know when they evolved, didn't know any Pokemon. So I was looking for an Aipom. Obviously, first route, Shinx pops up. My instance, for a split second, I thought it was an Aipom. I was like, no! It wasn't, but I caught him anyway, and I called him Lux. Now, fun fact about his name: he was called Luxio, obviously, because that's the 2nd generation. He started evolving. Now, I didn't know he was going to evolve. I assumed Luxio was the final evolution. So he evolved into Luxray, and I hated the name, right? I preferred the name Luxio. So it said, "Do you want to give him a nickname?" I said, "Yeah." I tried to change it back to Luxio, and I missed the I because I was walking as I was doing it. So I just called him Luxo, and that was his name ever since. So these 2, Luxray and Infernape, they're my 2 boys. Been with me since 2008. That's also why I hate Pokemon Black, is because I then got Pokemon Black and I wasn't able to transfer Luxray and Infernape into it straight away. So I hated that. I never finished it because I was like, this is not my vibe. But anyway, let's jump into this Platinum game. So 145 hours. That's actually crazy. Like that's insane. Actually, I don't think that's like necessarily a lot. I probably play Football Manager more. But back in the day, considering I only played this once through, that was a lot. Okay, so we got the flying box. I'm really just going to be going for my box here. That's going to be the main thing. A shiny Golbat. That must have been the first Golbat I ever caught. Jeez, what the hell? Caught on Victory Road, 2009. So it probably took me like a year to finish the game, I guess. Wow. Okay, geez, okay. A box of Whoopers. I must have been big into Whoopers at some point. Okay, we got my best 2 box. Like I said, yeah, Charizard, Sceptile, Lapras. I'm a big fan of Lapras. Couple Sceptiles. Okay, and then we got, naturally, if there's a best 2 box, it's going to be a best box, right? Was that called Best Friend? Best Friend? What? Well, I called it Best Friend. What year was this one? What year did this one come out? 2010. Okay, so that must have been me starting Soul Silver for the first time. So 2008, I caught Infernape at the start of Pearl. 2009 is when I did Victory Road. I don't know if that was going to be Pearl or Platinum Victory Road. But in 2010 is Soul Silver, so wow. Level 46, I thought it'd be a bit higher. Okay, Skarmory. Okay. Skarmory. This is a big moment for me. I'm going to tell you a story now about how I stole a Pokemon. This is legit. So I don't know what year this has been, but I'm with my friend Billy at my house. He's playing Pokemon as well. I've never had level 100 at this point. Actually, that's something else. My Luxo was the only Pokemon I ever got level 100 back in the day. So, he showed me all his Pokemon. He's got loads of level 100s. He shows me a Skarmory, right? Now, he's kind of bragging a little bit, which doesn't excuse what I did. And I'm kind of looking at this in like a comedic way, but I actually remember doing it intensely. So he showed me all his Pokemon, he showed me his Skarmory. I remember thinking like, damn, I want level 100. Anyway, so he goes outside in the garden. I'm like, should we go on the trampoline? He's like, yeah. I'm like, sweet. So we're on the trampoline. I run into the toilet and I see our DSs are both there. Obviously turned off. And my deviousness, I turn it on quickly. Actually, I think we might have just traded a Pokemon, so we were already at the Pokemon Center. So I quickly turn it on. Boom, boom, boom. I'm fast. Both DSs at one go. And without him knowing, I traded myself his Skarmory for like one of my Pidgeys. Then turned off the game. I never told him. I don't think he ever found out. Because for him, this Skarmory was just in his box. It was just one of 30 level 100s. So I don't think he ever knew that I stole his Skarmory. I never used it, by the way. I didn't even like Skarmory. But I never caught another Skarmory. I never used Skarmory. So in my mind, Skarmory, anytime I ever see that Pokemon, think of that Pokemon, I just associate with me stealing from him. I kind of just stole his level 100 Skarmory. So this is him. And look, it's original trainer, Billy. Like, I'm sorry, Billy, but I stole your Skarmory. And I still got it. My brother's Pokemon, these were all when my brother played, and when I reset his game after he was done, stole his Pokemon, of course. Dave the Riolu, okay, lots of eggs. It'd be fun to hatch some of these eggs and see what they are. But I'm guessing they're all gonna be like Chimchars and Pikachus and stuff. Best buddy. Why have I got one called best friend, one called best buddy? What am I doing? Jesus. Actually, what's in my party? Dragonite, Infernape, Tyrus, the Lucario, Charizard, just called Charizard. I don't know if this is going to be a fun video to watch for anyone, but for me, what we're going through this is actually crazy. It's like a time capsule. I would have played this so much as a kid. Why have I got 5 Master Balls? See, here's what I'm going to say and confess right now. I've never ever cheated or hacked or done anything in Pokemon, but I have got 5 Master Balls. If I remember rightly, I think maybe Billy, actually, the kid I stole this Skarmory from, there's a chance he might have did something like got me multiple Master Balls, maybe. I vaguely remember him doing something that got me like 10 Master Balls. I can't remember. But yeah, so that is kind of my save done. Nothing too crazy, nothing too exciting, but I wanted to just go for it. Really, I wanted to get that Skarmory story off my chest, if I'm honest, because I feel awful about that. But yeah, I've currently played for Fire Red on the 3DS. Gonna play Omega Ruby now. That's the thing, because of Black and White, because I hate Black and White, because I couldn't transfer my Luxray. I never played Black and White, I never played X or Y or Sun and Moon, so I'm gonna try and play through those now. I kind of like the idea of having maybe getting my Beano, my Infernape up to level 100. I'll probably start with a new Luxray, because even though, I got my boy, Luxo, I kind of do like Luxray. I want to actually use it without him being level 100, so I'm probably going to start a new Luxray. I've already completed Fire Red. I had a Poliwrath, an Arcanine, Pidgeotto, a Cubone, and a Raichu, and a Venusaur. I think I'm probably not going to reuse a Pokemon, so my Lucario, if I ever, whenever I use him, that's one Lucario. That's my only ever Lucario. I'm only going to have one of each from now on. I think I like that vibe. I'm just excited to play through them all. I'm also very aware this is probably the last time I'm ever going to play through each of these games. You know what I mean? In my life, maybe not. Maybe that's a bit dramatic, but this is kind of like my one true attempt of each of these games now. And then eventually, what my plan is to then move, after I finish all the games on 3DS, move my Pokemon to the Switch, and then with maybe Arcanine and Luxray and Lucario and Infernape, or with a couple of them, then play all the Switch games through with them, and then I like the idea of getting the champion ribbon from each generation. That'd be really fun. So yeah, with some of these Pokemon, I'm gonna definitely get all the ribbons for them. And yeah, probably gonna use a Quagsire, Heracross at some point, do another Charizard, a proper Charizard, my Charizard, and yeah, just go through the games. I'm excited to test out some new Pokemon. It's kind of really tough because I don't want to rush through them, but also there's some Pokemon I know I want to get. So yeah, this is my Pokemon video. I'll probably do a video a long time from now once I've played through all the games, showing off my best boys. But yeah, other than that, that is how I stole a Skarmory. Thank you for watching. Happy James. I'll see you next time. Bye.